Your engine can be burning extra fuel with no warning until a tiny oxygen or MAF sensor starts lying. That's the silent drain on your wallet. Today, we're mapping the performance restoration roadmap that shops use to fix it. You'll see why underinflated tires and a slight misalignment feel like towing a trailer, how a dirty air filter forces the engine to work harder, and when a check engine light means stop guessing and get diagnostics. Watch on, and you'll know which 10-minute checks you can do now, and which services immediately bring MPG back. Before we move on, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and like the video. If your car feels heavier and thirstier, what if it's not the engine? It's your habits and two small parts controlling the fuel mix. That's the twist most drivers miss. You're doing the same commute, same routes, yet the pump totals creep higher. The old instinct says wait for a warning light, a misfire, or a stall. The smarter move treats the falling MPG as a message. When the numbers dip, the system is talking to you before it breaks. The efficient way listens early and acts fast. The old way shrugs off a 2 or 3 MPG slide as winter gas, traffic, or it's getting older. You drive on, swap to a different station, maybe try premium, and hope it evens out. That delay is expensive. The efficient way treats MPG like a health check. Small losses point to small faults that snowball into big waste. Find the first weak link, correct it, and you stop paying a penalty at every stoplight. This shift isn't about paranoia. It's about routine, fast checks that turn guesswork into a plan. You've probably tried the common fixes. You drive slower, coast more, leave earlier to miss congestion. Yet the mileage keeps slipping. Why? Because those tactics don't remove the drag that's already there or correct the mixture the engine is being told to burn. If the car is working against hidden resistance or stale data, easing off the throttle just stretches the problem. You need to remove the cause, not soften the symptom. Start with the pavement. Underinflated tires don't just feel soft, they deform more, which grows the contact patch and scrubs energy away as heat. That rolling resistance stacks up at every rotation. A mild misalignment does something sneakier. The wheels point a hair in different directions, so the tires scrub sideways while moving forward. That steals momentum and makes the steering feel busy, like the car is trying to claw its way straight. Over a tank, that constant correction feeds the pump. Here's what the seasons are doing to you. Tire pressure moves roughly 1 to 2 psi for every 10 degrees, Fahrenheit change in temperature. A cold snap can quietly pull 4 to 6 psi out of all 4 corners. Multiply that across the set and you're giving up several percent in fuel economy with no other changes, plus extra wear on the shoulders of the tread. You won't notice it day to day, but your wallet will. Airflow plays the other half of the game. A dirty air filter is like running with a mask on while you sprint. The engine can still make power, but it has to open the throttle more to pull the same air mass through a restriction. Modern engines compensate, yes, but they don't beat physics. Reduced intake flow changes throttle angle and engine load at the same road speed, which inches the mixture richer in real-world conditions and robs efficiency. The ECU will try to hit target ratios, but the path it takes to get there costs fuel. So what's the silent part that lies to the ECU even when no light is on? We'll get there, but first you need the quick wins that reset the baseline. The efficient way starts with simple, repeatable checks. Set tire pressures to the door jam spec when the tires are cold. Pop the box and inspect the air filter. If it's dark and packed with debris, replace it. Scan your tread for uneven wear. Then schedule an alignment if you see feathering or one edge melting faster than the other. These fixes cut resistance and restore clean breathing before you chase anything deeper. With the basics handled, we move to the quiet culprits inside the air-fuel equation that decide every drop you burn. One sensor can drain your tank without a dash light. Can you name it before your wallet notices? Most drivers can't, and that's why the fuel bill climbs quietly. You already nailed the basics outside the engine. Now we step into the control room where every drop is decided, and the decisions are only as good as the signals. Your engine computer meters fuel using upstream oxygen sensors and the mass airflow sensor. The O2 sensors sit in the exhaust and report how much oxygen is left after combustion, telling the ECU whether the last burn was rich or lean. The MAF sits in the intake and measures how much air actually enters the engine. When both are accurate, the ECU trims fuel tightly and hits its targets. When either skews, the computer gets bad data and adds fuel you don't need. No drama, no lights, just richer mixtures during normal driving that waste energy as heat. Here's the confusing part for most owners. No codes pop up, there's no stutter, no loud misfire, and the car passes a quick rev test. Yet the throttle feels a touch lazier, the exhaust note softens, and the trip computer slides a mile or two per gallon over a few weeks. That's how a healthy car wastes fuel. It's running closed loop most of the time, constantly correcting. But those corrections are based on inputs that drift slow enough to hide from self-tests. Look at two common culprits. A slow upstream oxygen sensor still switches, just not quickly. The ECU richens the mixture, waits for feedback, and when the sensor lags, it keeps pouring until the reading catches up. Over thousands of cycles, that sluggish seesaw means extra fuel burned for the same work. On the intake side, a contaminated MAF underreports airflow. The ECU sees less air than reality, so it nudges fuel higher to protect the engine from lean conditions. Both faults lean toward richness under everyday loads, which shows up as dull response and lower MPG. Why do they drift? Upstream O2 sensors live in heat and exhaust byproducts. Over time, their internal elements slow down. They may still meet minimum tests, but lose crisp response. MAF elements collect residue from oiled filters, crankcase vapors, or dust that made it past a tired intake seal. That film insulates the sensing wire or chip, nudging readings off target. Neither issue has to be catastrophic to cost you money. Think of the ECU as a chef following a precise recipe. The O2 sensor and MAF are the measuring cups and scale. If those tools run a little off, the chef still cooks every meal, but each plate gets too much fuel. It tastes okay to most people, but it costs more to make, every single time you press the pedal. There's another quiet leak most people forget. Fuel injectors can develop poor spray patterns, turning a fine mist into dribbles. That hurts atomization, slows burn speed, and can leave unburned pockets that the O2 sensor reads as lean. The ECU answers with more fuel. Professional cleaning and flow testing can restore the cone shape and even out delivery, especially on high-mileage engines or cars running lots of short trips. So, when do you stop guessing and call for diagnostics? When the MPG dip pairs with a hint of rough idle at lights? When cold starts stay rich longer than they used to? Or when you catch a raw fuel smell at the tailpipe? That's your cue for live data. The likely silent drainer is a lazy upstream oxygen sensor or a skewed MAF. Ask for short and long-term fuel trims. Watch O2 switching speed at idle and light cruise, and verify MAF grams per second at idle and around 2,500 RPM. Those numbers tell the story faster than parts tossing. With sensors addressed, the last lever is you. How you warm up, plan trips, and idle can swing MPG more than you think. Treat a slipping MPG as a symptom, not bad luck. Small drifts in sensor accuracy, restricted airflow, or a front end that's a hair out of spec compound into steady waste. Fix the stack and the numbers rebound. Do the fast wins today. Set tire pressures cold to the door sticker. Check the air filter. Scan for uneven tread, and clean or replace suspect sensors only after data confirms it. Then book a diagnostic that pulls trims, O2 switching, MAF airflow, and injector balance so you lock in gains instead of chasing guesses. Next, we'll rank the fastest ROI services that pay for themselves within 90 days.